Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It's still Mike Lepre here, January 10th, 2021, second day of the wild card weekend. We had 3 games yesterday go off. Yeah, Brady. Okay, I got a story about Brady, but first I'm going to welcome some wild cards of my own. Let me bring in, of course, Brother Ray. Brother Ray, how you doing today?
Playoffs.
I'm just hoping we win the game. And also, as always, M1 Mastradamus. Mastradamus, how are you, bud?
Well, hello, gentlemen.
Tip, hello.
Well, hello. Hello to you.
Hello to you.
Hello.
Good day,
Good
sir.
day, sir.
Good day, sir. Hello. So, I want to go over this last night. So I go out to dinner with the whole family unit, the wife, the 2 kids, the whole, that whole thing. And if I don't know if you guys like me, but sometimes I don't even drive anymore. I just sit in the passenger seat and just watch my life go by, pole after pole after pole after pole. You know how that goes. But I get there, right, and we're eating dinner, and it just starts to get packed as we're getting done. And there's all these guys. Can you put on channel 10? Can you put on channel 10? And the bartender's going, excuse me. He's going, can you put on channel 10? Can you put on? And I'm thinking to myself, someone needs to let her know that what he's saying is, can you put on channel 10? So next thing I know, right, my wife was like, why are all these people here? And you start seeing Patriot jerseys. And my wife's like, are the Patriots playing today? I said, no, even better. Tom Brady's playing with the Buccaneers. That's why they're here. That's why all these supposed Patriot fans came out of nowhere to go to dinner and watch the game. They went out to see Tommy. My mind was blown. Like, I don't think people from other areas in this country know what it's like to have Patriot fans that, dude, I want to take away their stripes because they're rooting for Tom Brady. They're not rooting for the Patriots. And on top of that, they're going to root for the Patriots someday when they get a good quarterback. But for now, they don't want to be part of a losing thing. They don't want to root for a loser. They want to be in the playoffs again, as they always are. So they're rooting for Tommy and the Buccaneers. And it's absolutely disgusting. Brother Ray, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure we've already seen a couple of amazing gray uniforms with 1-2 on it. I'm sure those will come back and those will be popular again. I don't know. You know what? It's just I really want the old Patriot fans like Mastradamus from that were loyal to the team, we're suffering them through all the years with Steve Grogan and Eason and Coach McPherson. Like, those are the Patriot fans that I know, the true blue Patriot fans. But as with anything else, you got to follow a winner. And can anyone be more commercial than TB12? I don't know. It just, there's something not right about it. I don't know.
M1?
It's funny because, my brother is kind of in that crowd. He definitely is carrying the torch over there, and he's watching me draft them in fantasy. And I'm like, there's a lot of them. I am surrounded by them. A lot of people I know are Patriots fans, and I'm watching it, and I hated it. I was one of those people that actually wanted to see him go before his time, and now my brother says to me that this last night, he goes, still better than anything we have this year. Granted, that might be true, but he jumped ship right in the nick of time. He wouldn't have made this Patriots team much better than it is. He knew what was going on. They weren't really surrounding him with talent. He's not wearing Patriots stripes anymore. The only reason I could care if he wins is I got a shit ton of Patriots Tom Brady rookie cards. So if he wins one more, my cards will probably skyrocket, and then I'll look to sell them.
See, I get that, but man, it's just, and the thing is too, Ray, I haven't spoken to you about this yet. It's a nice little segue, if you will. So Tom's had a first round draft pick taken away from him for liking his footballs to be slightly lower, right, in inflation than others. Okay, this man threw a football game on national TV, right? Everybody knew it. His players knew it. Where's the penalty? Where's the justice, brother Ray? Where is the justice on this jack off? Where is the justice? He threw a game. Brother Ray?
Well, I mean, Eagle fans were probably very happy about it, to be honest with you. They went from the number 6 pick. I think they went from number 9 to number 6. So they did the best thing for their football team, which is usually how can we, goon the Giants? And that's basically what he did.
But looking at the draft selection, 9 to 6, to me, isn't that dramatic of a jump right now in this year's draft. The quarterbacks aren't going to be there. There's going to be 3 or 4 receivers in that spot, so you have your pick. I guess they traded up so they have their pick in like who they take. What I'm trying to say is they're not getting this generational talent at 6 that they couldn't get at 9 to do all this bullshit.
Yeah, Peterson likes to think of himself as a mad scientist. So you understand these mad scientists, they don't leave. Sometimes they leave the house without pants. They just do things that they want to do. He said before the game, I'm going to get Nate Sudfeld in the game. And I think all the writers were like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's not an exhibition game. What are you talking about, coach? He did it. And the timing that he did it was, if you're a Giants fan, I don't know. You got to remember this. This goes down with Herm Edwards, really.
Look, M1. Let me throw it to you this way as you get yourself a glass of water.
Wash out the coffee cup.
No, at the very least, right? At the very least, they should be reprimanded somehow. No, let me put it this way: Collinsworth had information that could have changed the way everybody bet that game, but he didn't tell it to everyone else. Like when he found out that Gooffield was going to play, he didn't run and say, hey, I know that Mr. Big White Hands might come on the field. So, there's that news. Because if I heard that, Mem1, I'm going to you with this. If you heard that, wouldn't you even went heavy against them if you knew he was going to play?
I did hear somewhat about them laying down, and I did kind of go heavy on that game. I put them in a lot of parlays. I kind of had I heard the fail coming out of there was kind of that they were not interested.
Who they immediately put on the injury report and who's going to sit, that was probably the sign that they were throwing it in. But the fourth quarter was above and beyond anything I've ever seen as far as throwing it in.
Laying down?
What's that?
In regards of laying down?
Yeah. It deserves a first-round pick. That's all I want to say. That's literally all I'm getting to right now. It deserves. If Brady's balls have to be extra light and that causes a first-round pick, throwing a game on live TV. The worst part too is it was such an important game for 3 to 4 different teams. It's on national TV. All right, you know what? I hate.
Think of the money too that it cost. Playoff money. Think of the money that he cost those Giant players.
I know.
Don't forget that.
No, I think of that too. Yeah, there was no preseason, so any extra game you can get, and that's a home game, by the way. In the playoffs, if the Giants make it there, that's a home game. That's a lot of money right there.
It's just tough because when you start to penalize a team for, I don't want to say
throwing the game,
not showing the initiative to play or what have you. It's almost tough because at that stage of that, part of their season, it is almost something like you would like to look at. Who are we going to carry on to the next season? Do we
not Sudfeld though? Matt, come on, not Sudfeld. 4 years in the league, 27 years old. He didn't even know how to.
Was actually not that bad. I like Sudfeld.
Not that bad. He holds his hands both up like this when he's waiting for the ball on a snap. I was saying to my son, I don't think he's ever taken a snap before. The ball hit him in his big stupid hands on one play, if I'm not wrong. And he just fumbled it. And the worst thing, like I said to Kev the other night, was the worst part about that fumble from Dudfield was who picks it up? The guy we would have had if we would have tanked against the Redskins last year. We throw that game at the end. If we threw a game at the end, we would have got Chase Young. That's how that would have fell down. So we had to watch the guy that we didn't get because we wouldn't lay down. pick up a football as the other team lays down and pushes out of the thing. The playoffs.
And wouldn't you want to see Jalen Hurts, guys? Like
yeah.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is a rookie. Sudfeld's not a rookie. Wouldn't you want to see how your rookie reacts in a situation where he's going to go out and win a game?
Or would you be looking at it like this? If you're risking your future and Hurts, imagine him getting a leg injury towards the end of that game, and now you don't have him for the start of next year.
I know, but Matt, there's no preseason. You need as much tape on him as possible, Hurts, because say you want to trade Wentz.
And you want to get him the reps. You want to get him in there. You want to get him the reps.
You can't give Dudfield the reps. The reason they took out Hurts is simple. He would have won the game. It was obvious that he could figure out a way. He was going to figure out a way to win. Like what?
I agree. Hey, I agree. They threw the game, but I'm definitely just saying there is a reason for a team to be at the end of the year and start to, foresee themselves what they look at next year and whatnot. And I just don't want to see a team like that have the memories of this come down on them. You know what I'm saying?
You're an offensive lineman, though, getting your face smashed in on every play, right? And then you find out you're taking it for real. I'd want to beat the coach up. Like, you know what I mean? Because what am I doing on here? Kelsey was furious because he's old. And they're like, what the hell is he doing out there still smashing it up if they're not going to go for it, if they're not going to really try to win? Right. Whatever. You know what? I give them a big whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to pay for theirs next year, and I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait for the revenge game. Like, the first game they play, there's going to be tons of fist fights. And you know what? I like scrums at the end of after play. Like, the Nick Gates, the center for the Giants. I want to say like 4 plays in a row, he's pushing some cowboy. He's just getting into a fight with them. Like he's tussling it up. And I'm like, trying to tell my son, that's the kind of offensive lineman you want. The minute your receiver knocked out of bounds, your quarterback gets out of bounds, he runs over there and just starts a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Protect. All right.
You definitely need a few of them on every team. I want every one of my players like that. And I think the Patriots lost that when they got rid of Seymour. Seymour would be always good for a rough in the penalty, rough in the pass or a late hit. You wanted a tough guy on your team, an intimidator, someone that made that offense of people just, always keep their hand on a swivel. You have to have that on your team. It's a toughness, and it's trendy. A lot of people, it's contagious.
Lawyer Malloy.
Yes.
Brian Cox.
Guys that would hit you.
Roman Pfeiffer. I swear to God, I was there when Roman Pfeiffer hit an Indianapolis Colt. I think it was Jerome Pathan over the middle. The whole stadium went, ooh, and then it was on like Donkey Kong. And it was just that Roman Pfeiffer hit, and it was almost the turning point of that 2001 season, in my opinion.
No, I mean, Ty Law, right? So Ty Law has
great man.
He lives in Rhode Island now.
So I met him a few times. He's a great person. Great person.
Well, he is a great person. But however, his son goes to LaSalle, and I went to a basketball game freshman year and 2 years ago, and it was my son playing for the high school North Providence team, and his son's on LaSalle. So I'm sitting in the LaSalle bleachers, that their side. I don't know, because I just wasn't paying attention. I sat down. I'm 2 rows away from Ty Law, right? The game was on. Now, Ty Law's son he's a hefty kid, right? He's obviously that's going to become muscle when he's older. His dad will, everything. But he's more of a football player. So my son was definitely winning the battle of whatever, right? I actually get to say to Ty Law at one point, my son's better than yours, Ty. And I only said it because I just wanted to say that phrase and be able to tell my wife that I did in fact say that, because me and him started drawing about some plays, but it was friendly, right? And he's laughing, I'm laughing. I'm like, look, my son's better than yours. It was just like, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great moment in my life. I told my son
that he was
like, embarrassed. What?
When you have heart, it definitely will work more than someone who's probably comfy. And I'm sure that he probably thinks with his dad's given talent that he's probably creaming over the top when it comes to someone like your son. He's working hard, and when talent doesn't work hard work beats talent every time.
True. It's true. And the thing is, Ty Law got big. He gained a lot of weight.
Did he really? A little hefty, he's chubby.
Round. He's wicked round.
Wow.
How tall is that dude? Because he didn't look taller than me.
He wasn't. He's not that tall. He's not.
Yeah. But what is he, like 5'11"?
He's got to be. The times that I've seen him, I said the same thing. I met him at a Wendy's. I met him at Bryan College. I never walked away from him saying he was tall. Tom Brady was tall. Tom Brady was a tall.
See, here's the thing. I don't know, Matt. I don't know if you remember this, but brother Ray, you will. The
Richard Seymour was tall.
Who? Seymour?
Richard Seymour. Well, let me get the floor for 10 seconds. I said to Richard Seymour, his rookie year, I said, Seymour sacks. I said, what quarterback do you want more than any other? He answers me, I want them all. I said, that's a great answer.
So, wait, what was I just talking about?
You're going to say something.
Tyler's son and Tyler getting round.
How tall he was. That was what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. I'm listening to your story, and I'm thinking about what you're saying.
It's me.
As far as height is concerned, right? With so what I'm trying to say is we used to go to the Civic Center back in the day, the Providence Civic Center, right? Not the Dunk, the Providence Civic Center. And the Special Olympics would have that thing where they'd have athletes come down, and there would be athletes giving autographs, or you could take pictures with them. There was like a free throw contest. There was all this stuff. And they would do it every year. Now, I'm talking about, see, it might be actually before your time, M1. That's how old I am, your brother Ray is. Athletes like Marvin Hagler, like Sugar Ray Leonard, like Lawrence Taylor, Mark Bavaro. These guys would come to those things and sign our autographs and meet us. And it was the greatest thing in the Providence Civic Center. Right, brother, you remember that?
Used to be the spot. Yep.
Remember very well.
Civic Center.
Great time. Now, I mean, it was
awesome. You used to have big boxing matches down in Providence.
Used to, yeah.
Providence used to be the spot for big boxing matches.
Well, if we want to go way, way back, Providence was the place where Rocky Marciano fought all his first, 10, 15 fights. So, yeah, it used to be the Mecca. But what I'm saying is, athletes never made themselves available like they did back then in those days when they would come to, the Civic Center for, Special Olympics. Yeah. I remember meeting Mark Bavaro. This is one I remember the most. And it's funny, too, because my uncle, who is the person that's on the cover of our first CD, Backroom Sauce, the guy mixing the sauce up.
Yep.
That guy comes with me to the thing. He takes us all the time. And Bavaro is a stone-faced bastard. He's just standing there taking pictures, right, whatever. So my uncle says that all he sees is skinny me walk up to him, say something to him. And the next thing you know, I'm in a headlock. Bavaro's got me in a headlock, and he's taking a photo like this, right? Because what happened was I walked up to him and I told him, I said something along the lines of I'm sorry to make you look small. Oh, and I had pencil arms. I was, and he was like, oh yeah, right in that because he loved.
And he's a monster, awesome. Absolute monster.
I met LT, and LT's a scary person, right? I'm near him, and this is my favorite athlete in the world, but I still felt fear. There was something about it, the vibe that he gave off that it was like being around a tiger. Any minute, I know they're acting cool in the show, they're not biting anybody, but I don't know. There's something about him that any minute they could just go off and kill one of us. You know what I mean? Brother Ray, do you remember that, William?
Yeah, LT always had that. I mean, that sense, he could go off at any minute, and you could be in his way. I mean, he played that way too, by the way. So it's guys like that, like a Jim Brown. Like Jim Brown had that same thing when you'd be around Jim Brown. I mean, I've never been around him, but he's got that intense, passion inside, and he's a bad man.
He's a preacher too, Jim Brown. Yeah, he'll preach. Yeah. Hey, all right. So let's go over yesterday's games. I'm pretty sure I went 3 for 3. However, I can't confirm that because the spread I had on the Buccaneers, I'm almost 100%. It was the Bucks -8. I don't know what you guys had on that one, but if you had that, I'm pretty sure that's what I had. I don't think it was
2-1 yesterday.
What's that?
I was 2-1 yesterday, but I did say I took Seattle, but I did say if Goff played, the Rams would win. So technically, I would have been 3-0, but I didn't know what the situation was with Goff was there. I actually had Goff in a FanDuel lineup because I didn't know he was really that injured. But then when somebody told me he did have thumb surgery, I said he can't be playing. Tribute to him for coming in there and gutting that out because he had to have done a little bit of wear and tear on that area without it's still technically healing and not healing right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and the genius Kev brought this up the other day on Thursday. The line never moved on the Rams.
I know, it's so
So
crazy. So they
what did that mean? Like that told us that he was going to play the whole time. That they
that
really
meant I think that meant they saw superiority with the Rams over the Hawks because they thought that they would have won with Wilford in there anyway. That's what I get.
Yeah, but it should move for a quarterback like that a little bit, Matt. Like, it didn't move at all, brother Ray.
I seen some spots go from 3 to 3.5. 3. That Hulk really isn't that big of a deal, but I mean, yeah, you're right. It didn't technically move, which was crazy.
Right?
I think it was more based on the Rams defense owning Russell Wilson. They've owned Russell Wilson in previous matchups. So I think the odds makers were saying, I don't care who shows up. Nate Sudfeld could go out there and sorry, King. And we may still go with the Rams on this. I mean, their defense, and they proved it in this game, they just have their number. Plain and simple.
And aren't those some of the dopest uniforms in the league? The Rams.
I like them.
I
like them.
Yeah, that's a nice uniform.
But I've always liked a lot of the Rams jerseys, even when like Kurt Warner was playing when they went to that gold theme. I liked them then too. I liked them when they were the St. Louis Rams and they had the real solid colors. I've always liked the Rams colors.
All right, so
the Rams jerseys.
So yesterday on Thursday we kind of picked on yesterday morning show. I keep blurring all the shows together. Did one on Thursday. We did one on Saturday morning yesterday. The Genius and myself at like 9, I think 9:30 to get it out so that people could get the picks in for Saturday's games. I had the Colts plus 6, whatever 6.5, like something like that. That one there. I had the Rams outright, but by the spread either way. And then I think I got a push with the Buccaneers, right? Because I'm pretty sure it was -8, right? Was it -8?
So it went up to 9.5. Actually,
all right, so then I definitely had it at -8. So I went 2, and then what we call a push, like a tie. I hate that.
Yeah,
that would be what, a 2-team parlay. They'd pay me out like as if it was a 2-team parlay, right, Matt? If you bet 3-team,
well, if you push on one side, and then it depends on what site you're using.
Right.
I know Bravada is kind of cheesy. They end up giving you just like if you won one side. Like if I put up $100 and it's a 2-team parlay, and I push on one side, they'll only like act like I put up.
That's 2. I'm talking about if it's 3 and you get a push on 1.
You'll still make out. Yeah, you'll still make out. Yep.
Because that's what happened to me yesterday.
I had a really cool story yesterday. I was working, and I didn't know we were going to get out in time. They let us out. I got home with about 5 minutes to spare. I only put in a small size bet, but I put in a $13 bet for Dawson Knox to be the first touchdown scored in the Bills game. And then he did the little push pass to him. I ended up winning $237 on that little thing.
That's sweet.
So to review those games really quick, are we surprised that the Bills held out and won that game? I'm not. I think Allen looks scary at times, but I think Buffalo's a really good team. What do you guys think? M1?
I think they had the toughest of the first round matchups, and it was good for them to be battle tested because like that was if they haven't won a playoff game in half a quarter century, and for them to play the Colts, who have been a very tough out this year in most weeks, and for them to get that, I knew it was going to be a battle. I liked it. I like that they got that one out of the way. I don't think that they're going to see that much of a pass defense. That's my pick to go to the Super Bowl. I think KC gets knocked out by the winner of the Baltimore-Tennessee game, and I think that you see Buffalo take care of business against Baltimore, Tennessee.
Possibly, Brother Ray.
I agree. I think Buffalo is probably right now they're under the radar. They're playing just as well as anyone in the league. I mean, they're strong on both sides of the ball. Allen is he's getting the job done. Diggs is probably the best wide receiver playing right now in the game. They can just find different ways to beat you every week. I love the Bills right now, and I do like them going up against Kansas City and representing the AFC.
Diggs is proof positive that you need one of those antelope gazelle type receivers You know, those monsters that just go deep and get the ball for you. Like Diggs is such a big part of Buffalo, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
He's
Huge.
So huge. The amount of yards he's going to carry throughout the playoffs. Like he's like a 15 target every playoff game type guy, right? That's your guy. So that's the importance of having someone like him is gigantic. Now the Rams and the Seahawks, we briefly touched on them. I liked the Rams outright yesterday. I didn't understand this game to begin with. Nothing the Seahawks have done over the last couple of months have shown to me that they're a team that was going to be really strong in the playoffs. Like we've watched them fall apart piece by piece, literally. You know what I mean? Throughout the whole season, we've talked about at times where the defense was horrendous, where Russ couldn't get it done. So with all that stuff swirling around, why were people so shocked about this upset, Brother Ray?
I mean, I think it goes down to Russell Wilson. You know, everybody's thinking, all right, Russell Wilson's going to find a way. He's going to pull a rabbit out of his hat. To be honest with you, Pete Carroll, you know, I think he's an overrated coach. I've talked about this before. I mean, you saw what happened in the Super Bowl when they completely were outcoached by Bill Belichick and they gave one away. I mean, he sticks to the same things. You know, they want to run the ball. Russell Wilson's a great player, but if you look at some of the decisions he's made, I mean, I think the Rams were a better coached team, and I think we knew that going in. You know, I just think they're really overrated, and I think everyone's just thinking that Russell Wilson's going to pull a rabbit out of his hat every time, and that's not the case.
And one,
I look at it like, what do we see? How that game ultimately get decided? It was the end. The end contained. We see it so many times. Like Russell Wilson backs out of a sack and then runs out wide and makes a throw down the field. They made his life miserable yesterday, and he could not escape the containment. And ultimately, that was the deciding factor in that game. And I don't know what it was. Somewhere along the lines, that offense, I don't know if Tyler Lockett or Metcalf. I mean, they were basically the only guys really there the whole year anyway. But one of those two guys banged up where they ended up defensives. I don't know if I think there's got to have been an injury because they just were sluggish down the line. I don't know. That offense was not churning. And there's something wrong with that running back situation. It doesn't matter who's in there. They don't stay consistent with it. And they don't have that. I mean, I think Carlos Hyde has a little bit more of that Marshawn Lynch tenacity to him, nastiness that maybe, I mean, I like the freaking Carson. I like Chris Carson a lot, but he's hurt all the time. He's not solid. It's not AP.
Well, let me throw this at you. What if the game has passed Pete Carroll by, like with the way he's playing? What if that's the case? I tend to think that's somewhat true. Brother Ray, what do you think?
I completely agree. Again, I think he's had some success as a defensive coordinator in the league. Obviously, he's been a head coach. You know, he had great program at USC. May not have been legal, but he had a lot of winning over there. I mean, I just look at the way they match up against the Rams. The Rams are strong in the areas that the Seahawks are not. I mean, you know, they have strong corners. They lock down those receivers. Metcalf had a decent day, but really, wasn't when it counted. I mean, and as Mastradamus said, that defensive line just completely shut everything down. Aaron Donald is unstoppable as it is, but at halftime, I thought he was going to have 20 sacks in that game. Seriously, or maybe kill somebody and put somebody in the hospital. That's unstoppable.
He was locked on. And that's another thing. There's so much familiarity in that between those two that's what the Rams liked about going with Wolford. You heard him talk about it during the game. Like he was going to present different matchups and problems that Seattle probably wasn't ready for. And that's what you kind of want when you got somebody that when you know each other so well. And maybe that's the case when you like guys touch on with Pete Carroll. He doesn't really switch it up. He's very, very much the same. He's vanilla. And that's why the Patriots caught him down at the freaking goal line. They knew that play that they were going to run. They caught him sleeping, and they stole the freaking Super Bowl from him because he wants to be, vanilla.
Let let me ask this then. So, all right, Pete Carroll might have had the game slipping by, but can the Rams also be just not as good as advertised? Like, in other words, the Rams look good against the Seahawks this game, but I don't expect the Rams to do well moving on. Like, I think there's a short circuit right now at the quarterback position. It's not official. He's hurt, Goff. I can't see that Rams offense going on to the Super Bowl again. You know what I mean? I can't see that happening this year. I don't know. They beat the Seahawks. That's great. But I don't see them progressing. I mean, Brother Ray, am I wrong? Am I right? What do you think about the Rams?
Yeah, I mean, they're a dink and dunk offense. You know, what they want to do is run the ball, control it, swing passes, rollouts with Goff. I don't think Goff is good enough to win a game, to be honest with you, in the playoffs. I mean, he still has not shown it yet. He's a ball control game manager, but he should have the ability as a former first number 1 overall pick to blow a game open. They have the receivers. They have two of the better receivers in the league.
His arm's a cannon. His arm is a cannon. Right. And they do dink and dunks. You know what I mean?
I mean, their defense is good enough to win. Let's put it that way. Their defense is good enough to win, but I think the pressure point, the breaking point for them, the weak link in the chain is Jared Goff.
Agreed. So, M1, I'm going over to the third game yesterday. The Brady Ears versus the Washington football team, the Maroon team that shouldn't have been there. Did this game go how you thought it was going to go?
I wish I would have watched it. I actually passed out so early last night. As you know, I'm an early goer, and I heard that the Washington Redskins quarterback was exciting. I heard that he was, more than what the Washington. It would have been nice to see what this kid could have done with this offense had they put. I didn't even know the kid existed. And when I found out Alex Smith was out, I was like, "Well, that's cool. Who's the quarterback?" And then, he actually won me some good money. I put him in FanDuel, so I was excited that he did well. I knew. Well, if you asked me if I thought that it went the way it went, yes, I had Washington covering the spread, but I didn't know if that was going to ring true after Alex Smith was going to go out. But I don't believe in that pass defense of the Tampa Bay Bucks, so I knew that the room was there for the taking. So we'll see what happens with that kid, but that pass defense of the Tampa Bay Bucks is still in question. It's very suspect.
So, Ray, this kid was drafted 4 years ago from Old Dominion, right?
No shit.
Where's he been?
Yeah, I mean, again, another one of those guys that's kind of bounced around practice squads. One of those developmental guys. I mean, give the Washington football team credit. Like they cut Haskins. Knowing that Alex Smith could be a question mark the rest of the way. I mean, and they almost pulled that game out. I mean, I really have a lot of respect for Coach Rivera for what he's done with that team in just 1 year. With all the controversy, with everything that's going on, with a pandemic, with him battling cancer himself. I mean, you got to give them credit. What they've done with the picks that they've made. Chase Young is good. He's a future Hall of Famer by the looks of it. I mean, you know what? You have to root for the football team. How could you not like what that team has done?
I give you 100 reasons why I wouldn't root for that freaking team. I tell you this much though, I don't think Ron Rivera is the greatest X's and O's coach. I think he's more of a player coach. Get the right players in there, keep the locker room the way it should be. Right, build the right type of.
Hold on, King. He made Cam Newton look good. All right. And we're, like Brother Ray said, we're not giving enough credit to the Cleveland Browns and the Washington football team. They need to be talked about. This team was a trash can, and they still stink. They're not that good on offense. They got a beautiful defense, and they're still overachieving. They've had problems all year with their quarterback situation, and it's still not that good. And Riverboat Ron is the one to be talked about. He should be anointed and given all the credentials that he's,
Riverboat Ron went 7-9, right? Couldn't beat the Giants in 2 tries. Never won a Super Bowl with his team. I don't know. I don't have to. I don't believe in
The
his.
teams he's had have been horrible, but he's made good teams out of them.
That's
He's
great.
made chicken
That's
salad
great.
out of chicken shit.
You know what? That's great. But if you don't win the Super Bowl with it, what's big deal? You know, at the end of the day, really, that's how it comes with the football. It's like, did he win a Super Bowl with his coaching? No. Big deal.
Yeah, but you said the same thing about Andy Reid, King. You could say the same thing about Andy Reid before he won a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, but Andy Reid's like an offensive. Yeah, all right, we'll see. I don't have to buy into Ron Rivera. Never did. I was quite happy when he went to the Redskins. And I'll go one further. Dwayne Haskins saved Gettleman's job. The fact that he got released saved Gettleman's job. The Giants were figuring out what they're going to do with the GM. They're going to get a new GM, but man, Gettleman's made right decision after right decision after right decision, and he was like vilified for the fact that he passed on Haskins to take Daniel Jones. And look where Haskins is now. That helps save his job because they were going to get rid of him. But he had that happen, and then Dexter Lawrence and Jabril Peppers are both better than Odell Beckham Jr. as far as worth to a team right now. That's really what they are. Dexter Lawrence is a beast. Yeah. Jabril Peppers is everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say all I'm trying to say is Haskins saved Gettleman's job, and I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Like, I don't wish anybody losing their job. Like, so I hope Haskins get a job soon. Like, I hope he does. But
I'm hearing he's gonna sign.
They're going to 1 year.
Pittsburgh or Carolina, they're saying.
But 1 year in Ohio State, they got to figure out how they analyze stuff differently. Like, you can't go on a guy's 1 year at a college where everybody you have is 3 times better than the guy they're lining up against.
Yep.
Brother Ray, am I right in a little bit with that? Like, that 1 year at Ohio State doesn't really did not show what he could really do.
Well, I mean, let's put it in perspective. He did have an amazing year, and that 1 year at Ohio State. And the knock on him was, of course, the 1 year wonder thing. Everyone talked about it. Is he a 1 year wonder? But what's really puzzling is he was a leader on that team. He was a team captain. He was an academic All-American. He, by all intents purposes, checked all the boxes. But then once these guys hit the NFL, who could predict, what happens? If they have a little adversity and they get challenged,
he's not sure.
They make bad decisions. He had all the tools coming out. He had a cannon for an arm, good decision maker,
immature
great numbers. He had fantastic numbers. I mean, he had everything you would want in a quarterback. But then once they hit the pros, that's when the real players either come out or they go.
Well, his stock dropped after the interviews, just so we're all on the same page. Like, so there was obviously things that he said, like I'm saying, that just proved that he was immature. That's the knock that the Giants had on him, that he wasn't ready. He was immature. And when he got to Washington, I can say Washington. When he got to, I have to rethink about what I'm saying with that team, no matter what I'm saying. But when he got to Washington, they sat him for a while, right? They knew he wasn't ready. And it's not physical. It was up here, right?
Right.
It's up here. So what happened? I don't know. Like, something really must have went down for Ron to cut him, to release him. Like, I don't know what really went down. Do you guys know? Like, what was the final, other than him just playing bad? There had to be something that happened between him and Ron.
Yeah, there was he defied the COVID protocols, and that's the week that he was released. He did something stupid with the COVID protocols.
He went out. That's what it was. He went out to a strip club or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
jeopardize your whole team.
Right.
It's funny because I tell this story a lot. In boot camp, we had a kid who went the whole damn duration not showering, and they ended up not letting him graduate. You can't have that happen in a platoon because you get everybody sick. You kill everybody. That's the same thing with Haskins with COVID. Go out there, defy us. You're going to jeopardize all of us. Get out of here. See you later.
I agree. All right, so moving on. This is what we get going on today. Hope you guys can see it. That's what the track has for the current spread. I mean, I know I should call it Twin Rivers. Again, I'm refusing. The track. So let's start with the 1 o'clock game. The Baltimore Ravens going to the Tennessee Titans. The Ravens are -3.5 as an away team. The over-under is 54. Brother Ray, I'm going to start with you first. Where do we go with this game?
Yeah, I mean, these two teams, when they get together, it's usually a really good game, a good matchup. Baltimore has been playing really well. They've been running the football. Jackson has looked better. I think for fantasy purposes, I really, really like Miles Boykin today. You can see him week after week. He's starting to come around. He's starting to be that real secondary option, and he's really good in the red zone. I think Miles Boykin is a sneaky DFS start today. I like Baltimore in this game. I think it comes down to they know each other really well, and can either of these teams do what they want to really do and impose their will on the other team? Right now, I think it's the Ravens, so I'm going with the Ravens today.
What about the spread, though?
Again, I think this could be a close game, and it could be one of those where the Ravens win by 3. In this matchup, I'm going to go with the superior team. I think I'm going with the Ravens -3.5.
All right. M1, over to you.
I like Brother Ray, what he said, because whenever these two teams get together, it's always fun. And they're always pretty damn good games. The Ravens have been playing great. It's funny because my coworker was knocking this Steelers fan yesterday, where he's like, "Yo, Steelers haven't done squat, started out hot, and then they just look like trash." I said, strength of schedule. Who are you playing? It's great to look great when you're not playing the tough teams. And I'm going to tell you right now, like, Tennessee's not the best defense, but they've got the personnel. And the trend says Tennessee knows how to stop them. And I really question Lamar Jackson when he gets contested and pushed up against the wall. I think he feels himself, and he's really feeling himself lately. But I wonder, when he gets the pressure put on him, can he respond? I think we're going to see it today, and I don't think he's going to. I think he is a flash in the pan. I think that this Tennessee defense knows how to get him. And I wonder, of course, we're looking at this spread and we're wondering what's going on. It's overvaluing the Ravens of what they've been doing the last 4 or 5 weeks. I think they run into a wall today, a big one.
Wow. So you're basically saying that you like Tennessee.
I love the Titans. Yeah.
Outright?
They're going to win this game.
Outright?
They're going to win the game, yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, see, I'll be honest. I don't know where to go on this. And here's the thing, because I don't know how good Baltimore's going to end up being. Like, I don't know how good Lamar is. I don't know how. I'm not sold on them yet. What is it about them? What's going on with them that I don't? What part of Baltimore do I not buy? Like, what is going on with that team that I don't have 100% faith in? Tennessee, I'm not a huge fan of right now. I mean, although Tennessee is that fan that's tricky in spots like this, they'll play a great game. That they're going to be difficult. In this type of game where they come out and be difficult. And in my opinion, they have my favorite running back in the league right now to watch. I'd rather watch a big, gigantic, tall guy running really fast, run people over. But Baltimore should be really, really good, right? Baltimore was going to be one of the top teams this year, right? One of the top teams. What is the spread again? The spread is
3.5.
Tennessee at home getting 3.5. Home dog.
All right, I'm going to go with Tennessee getting 3.5. They're gonna have to win outright. I don't like the over under. I think that's really high. So I don't think I would touch the over-under on that. But I'm going to go with Tennessee. So we have two people going one way, one person going with Baltimore. So let's move on to the next game. Bears going to the Saints. -10.5 in the playoffs. Like, that's just, like, crazy, right? That's crazy numbers right there. Matt, what do you think of a home team -10.5 with the over-under of 48.5?
It's funny because I was saying it was going to be a Saints-Colts Super Bowl since like mid-season. The Saints really do have probably the best defense left in this tournament. Mitch has looked great. I actually got Jimmy Graham. forced to put Jimmy Graham in my DFS lineup because there's a connection there. He feels comfortable going there. 10.5 points. If Vegas says it, it's basically kind of like what we're saying with the Ravens game. Like, Chicago's looked good. A lot of people are going to feel comfy getting those points. And then they're going to look at the Saints, and the Saints are going to roll. That's what I believe.
All right. Brother Ray?
Yeah, I mean, the Bears have been playing well. Montgomery has been really rock solid. Mitch has been playing well as, also, their defense is still around. They have some good players on that team. I think this comes down to coaching, and I think Peyton at home in the playoffs, some people rested. I think, like Master Dom has said, I think the Saints now are ready to roll. I think they'll lock it down today, and I think it'll be a bludgeoning. So I like the Saints, even though they've given up all those points.
All right, so you both like the Saints giving up 10.5. I like the Bears getting 10.5. So I'm going to split on the Bears Saints with you guys. Seems like we've been going 2-1 on both games. I want to just welcome in really quick to the show the genius Kev. Genius, what did you just get done eating? Oh, you're drinking Coca-Cola. There you go.
Coca-Cola, yeah. I got a sponsorship deal like closed on Friday with Coca-Cola. So,
all right.
I'm a cokehead too, Kev.
Yeah.
I'm a cokehead too.
Yeah. Things are looking up.
Genius. I went 2-1 yesterday. I had a push actually with the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I did. I had you remember I picked the Colts and whatever. We're going on. We just finished the second game. Really quick from you. Baltimore, Tennessee. Who do you like?
It's funny. I was listening to that part, and what Master Thomas and Brother Ray was saying is so true. I don't understand why Baltimore can't beat Tennessee. Like Baltimore should go in and crush Tennessee. And like you said, there's something wrong with them. Like it's something in their head where they don't play like themselves. It's like they don't think they can beat Tennessee. And I don't know why. I think it's something to do with last year and how Tennessee handled them last year. But I think they're going to do it today. So I'm going to go against Master Thomas. I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think they get it done. And the Tennessee defense is so bad.
So we split right now. Right now, it's Baltimore. For Baltimore, we got Ray. Hey, Matt, we can't win. We're going up against Brother Ray and a genius.
Sounds like a tag team match. I'm with you, Brother Ray. Let's go. Let's get them. You don't want it with us.
No, it's me and you that like Tennessee. They like Baltimore.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care who my teammate is. If you're down with Tennessee, I'm down with you. Yeah.
Genius, what do you think about the Bears Saints?
I hate that spread. I hate that it's a half. I hate that it's 10.5. If it was 10, I'd be a lot more comfortable going with the Saints. That half is crazy. Like I was just looking at the scores yesterday when you were talking about it. Like it seemed like Tampa Bay was all over Washington in the second half, and they only won by 8. It seemed like the Rams came through strong in the end. They won by 10. Like 10.5 is a lot of points. So I would not bet the game. Like if I was forced to pick a side, I'd go with the Saints, but I wouldn't bet it. I would stay away. If this is one of those games where if you're going to bet it, it's probably Bears or nothing. But that's why I'm not going to bet it. But my lead would be against that. My lead would be New Orleans.
If you had
that's weird. I'm contradicting myself. If I had to absolutely bet it, if I had to bet it, I'd pick the Bears. So I'm going out for the Bears. So I'm changing my mind. But that's what I said. I wouldn't bet it.
It's all right. So now that second game, we've officially split. For the Bears, it's me, myself, and the genius. And then for the Saints, it's M1 and Ray. So far, 2 for 2 in each game. Here we go, guys. Third game. Let's see if we can keep this thing split. For the third game, we've got Cleveland. Again, this game again. It's another one that I heard again. I thought they stopped in the playoffs. Browns go to the Steelers. These are two teams that have never played or haven't played in years. The Browns are getting 6, meaning the Steelers are favored by 6 at home. I want to go around the horn in about 2 minutes on this one. What's wrong with the Steelers that I don't feel like they should? I feel like they could dominate, but I don't feel like they're going to dominate this game, and I don't know why. Tell me why I like the Browns start with Brother Ray. Brother Ray, who do you like?
I love the Browns in this game. I think the Browns are going to win this game.
Wow.
And the Steelers last week almost won that game without Ben starting. So you got to wonder, why would I say that? I just think the Steelers right now are overrated. I don't like their running attack. I think the Browns shut them down, and I think the Browns shocked the world tonight.
That's definitely a big one. Kev, just give you the genius. Let's give you one. What do you like on this one?
I'm going the other way. I think the Browns are not a good team. Like, if you look at their efficiency numbers, their defense is bottom third. Their offense is like in the middle. Like, I think the Steelers, it's a get right game for them. I think with Stefanski being out, not even allowed to communicate with them. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I was looking into this week. An NFL team can't use the internet during a game. So they can't do like a Zoom call with Stefanski at halftime. He can't talk to anybody like during that game. It's gonna be kind of crazy, and I don't think Alex Van Pelt is going to be up to the task of handling the Steelers. It's only 5. It's funny, when I was looking earlier this week, it was 3.5. And I was trying to be smart. I'm like, I'm going to wait until it's Steelers -3. I'm going to wait till all the Browns money comes in and it goes Steelers -3. Then they announced Stefanski being out. Now it's 5.5. But so obviously I made a mistake there, but I'll stay with the Steelers.
All right. M1,
I love what the Browns have done this year. I really, really wish that they would win today. I think that the line is exactly where it needs to be, but I see the Steelers pouncing on them. The deficiencies that the Browns have in the pass defense is exactly where you don't want to match up against the Steelers with their wide receivers. Even though they drop and they lead the league in drops, I think you're going to see the Steelers pretty much knock it out of the park today. I expect the Steelers to not just win, but win by double digits.
All right, so here's where we split again, because I hate to do this, and I'm not doing this just to do it. I like the Browns. I definitely like the Browns today. I think the Browns are going to I don't like the Steelers. I just don't like – again, I don't like the Steelers running game. And I think
they suck.
I think they're going to get behind. I think Cleveland's going to put up early points. You watch. I think the Browns are going to come out and score a bunch of points quick. I like the Browns. I like the Browns to win the game. Yeah, I do. Definitely like the Browns to move on.
Mike, can I mention one other thing? I forgot to say it. First time quarterbacks in NFL playoffs since 2002 are 13, 33, and 1 against the spread. So there's definitely something there. It's Baker's first playoff game. We'll see if that comes into play. But that's a kind of a crazy stat. It's like the last 18 years since they introduced the wild card round. 13, 33, and 1 against the spread.
But look at their running back, the Browns. They run the ball. No, Brother Ray, right? Their running game is what I would bank on with the Browns. And
yeah,
Baker's
they have two of the best in the league. I mean, there's no doubt, 2 of the best running backs in the league. I mean, any of those guys would be welcome on any other roster in the league. The way I look at it today, I love the Browns offensive line. I think they're going to, I think Baker's going to be ball control. They're going to try and control him. You have Jarvis Landry to move the chains. The Steelers, they just haven't been playing well. And until I see, that turnaround, I mean, they almost won the game last week. So I guess there's that. But again, I think Ben, at this point, he's not the old Ben that he used to be. And I just like the Browns with a good game plan today, getting the upset. Again, the Steelers, they're going to have to prove me wrong before I start backing them with my money.
So here we go. For the day, we have on the Baltimore, Tennessee, Ray and Kev with Baltimore, Matt and myself with Tennessee, Bears and Saints, me and the genius with the Bears, Matt and Ray with the Saints, Browns Steelers, Ray and me with the Browns, and Kev and Matt with the Steelers. Now, let me tell you how ridiculously stupid this has become. All right? Ray picked Baltimore. Ray has, if you go to the 3 games, it's been him agreeing with each one of us. So for Baltimore, he agreed with Kev. With the Saints, he agreed with Matt. And with the Browns, he's with me. So if we're trying to
in a lot of trouble, then
gambling, we're really confusing him. If you're with Brother Ray, I don't know. If you like Brother Ray, follow what his picks are. But with me, Tennessee, I'm with Matt. The Bears, I'm with Kev, and the Browns, I'm with Ray. So we're idiots. We completely split this. Kev, you got Matt with the Steelers. You got me with the Bears, and you have Ray with Baltimore. Matt, you have me with the Tennessee Titans. You have Ray with the Saints, and then you have Kev with the Steelers.
So what do you say, King? Either pick one of us or just don't bet. You might be better off just don't bet.
Pick one of our faces and go with that guy.
It's the parity in this league that they've been striving to get, and now on any given week you can win.
Let's do a teaser, Genius. Let's make sure that we can get them money.
Yeah, so it's today's tough because it's funny. I have about 4 or 5 open teasers right now because I hit the Bucks yesterday and the Bills yesterday, and I paired both of those with the Steelers. So I did Bucks Steelers, I did Bills Steelers, and I also did the Bucks with Alabama. We're going cross sports because Alabama's like I think at 8. So I'm trying to get everything down to picks. So today, if you had to do one today, I would do Steelers Alabama, even though we're not talking college football, just because it's a good line. It's only Alabama minus 8. But a couple of interesting things, Mike, which is kind of funny. Yesterday, I put in a 5-team parlay, like a basically chalk parlay, and I need basically the Ravens, the Saints, and the Steelers to win today, and that will cash. So yesterday was a good day, but it's tough for teasers like with just the games today. There's only one that I really like. I could also see possibly this would be maybe for you, Mike, teasing the Bears up to 16.5.
Yeah,
I would have a hard time seeing the Saints cover that one. So maybe if you want to do another one, do Bears Steelers would be a good one.
What about Jeans? What about this? If I say I like the Titans or the Ravens, if you like the Ravens, you can actually change it to where they're getting points.
Yeah, that's always tough, teasing through. You think that would be a great idea, but it's kind of tough. You're almost better if you think that's going to happen. You're almost better betting the money line. Like if you look at sorry, I made a mistake there. It's because teasing that money line is still minus 200, but it's always tough teasing them to the other side. You think it's a good idea, but it's usually the math doesn't always work out. So I usually don't do that.
So let me ask you this, M1. If you people getting 6, right? Like just so everybody understands this, because I tried to explain this to somebody yesterday and they couldn't figure it. Say you do a 2-team teaser, right? You can get up to where they're giving you 6 points per team. Can we agree on that? That's like all right. So I'm trying to explain that to my wife. Something like this, the math in me, yeah, I agree with you, Kev. I would want to make the Bears 16.5 because then the Saints got to drub them by 17 points, which could happen, but that's a lot of points. And then that 6 points changes this to a pick, or the Steelers get 12. I mean, the Browns could go up to plus 12. That's another game I think that I might consider as a teaser, right? Because I like the Browns are outright. I might as well make it a pick 'em. I just like the whole math of it, guys. I can talk about it. And let me ask this, Genius. Can you apply the 6 points to an over-under?
Over under. Yeah, you could tease the funny thing is we haven't really talked about this. A lot of it's correlated. Like the lower the over under, the more valuable a point is, right? So like yesterday, the over under on Rams Seahawks, which we both hit the over, was 42. Yep. You could have teased that down to 36. That's much more valuable than say taking a 54 down because it's less points, so a point is more valuable. So every once in a while, you kind of look into that. But generally, people say don't tease over unders nearly as much because like the key numbers are a lot higher. But like the Patriots were good at teasing over unders this year because they get games where the over under was like 40.5 against the Jets, and you could tease it down to over 34.5, and like if the 2 professional football teams don't get 34, it's a weird game.
Okay.
But one thing I want to say, Mike, sorry, one other thing that was really funny, the Rams, when they announced Walford as the starting quarterback, their over-under for the first half was 7.5 points. I was all over the over. So I'm like, if you're a professional football team and you can't score more than a touchdown and a half of football, you don't deserve to be there. And obviously, he got hurt and Goff came in, and like that's another story. But you got to look when like news comes out and like live betting lines change. You got to be like all over it like fast.
Oh yeah, you can catch it too.
Yeah.
See, brother, Ray, I think me and you come from the old school. I don't jump in and I don't bet for the quarter. I don't bet. I bet the beginning of the game, and then I go get a beverage, and I go and I sit down and I just watch the game. That's how I handle it.
I
So you
love
guys-
in live betting.
Yeah.
What's that?
In-game live betting is huge.
So
Like,
many edges. Yeah.
Like Kevin said, you can catch if an injury happens, you can catch it before it catches it, and you can catch
Yeah.
it sleeping.
What are your favorite sites for in-game betting? Because I know the
Bovada.
track doesn't offer that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bovada. That's what I do. I do Bovada. But
Bovada?
yeah, like the best thing that could possibly happen today is if the Bears go up 14-0, go all over the Saints, because you'll get like Saints plus. You won't get Saints plus 14, but you'll get like Saints plus 6.5 or Saints plus 7. You can go all over that. Like I did that a couple of times earlier this season.
Or the money line goes crazy
Yeah.
to win straight up, and then you take because
Yeah.
if you think the Saints are going to come back and win
Yeah.
straight up, which is possible, being down
Yeah.
to 14-9, you can put in $100, win $1,400.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So, guys, last question. Sitting where we're sitting right now, if you had to guess who's going to win the Super Bowl, who would you take so far? Brother Ray?
Bills.
Yeah, I mean, Mastradamus just said it. I like the Buffalo Bills. I really do. And it pains me to say it, but I like the Bills.
Mastradamus?
The
Bill?
Bills.
Kev?
Can I ask a question, King? Because the Bills' defense looked so bad yesterday. I was on the Bills hard, and I'm in a playoff fantasy league, and I have Singletary, Diggs, John Brown, Gabriel Davis, the kicker. I have everybody. I'm heavy Bills. Their defense looked atrocious yesterday. I'm worried that the next team they play Tennessee. What is Derrick Henry going to run for? 800 yards? Like if they play the Ravens, what is Lamar Jackson going to rush for? Well, I was all over the Bills, but now I'm a little bit scared. So I'm going to go right now. I want it to be Bills Packers. So I'm going to go Packers.
Packers. That's what I'll go with. I'm going to go with. No, I'm not agreeing with you. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with KC. I hate to be vanilla right there,
Wow.
boring, but the Chiefs are going to win it. Until you beat the Chiefs, the
Yeah.
Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. That's what I'm
Yeah, I think we're all hoping that doesn't happen. But in the back of our minds, it wouldn't shock anybody. It'd probably be like this most boring end to a season.
They
Well,
just
guys-
have not looked good lately. They have not
Chiefs?
looked good lately.
The Chiefs?
Yeah, the Chiefs. They just have not looked good lately. I mean, not just, what's reminiscent of the Atlanta game 14-17, but even before that, I think they got a good lot. The defense is really nice. The offense is, of course, what it is. But their running game all year long, even with Clyde, he never was much of a bang. And then they added Bell because they didn't feel comfortable with him. And now you got both of those guys banged up. You can't go into the tournament with a one. I mean, of course, they probably could. If anybody could, they could go one-dimensional. But I don't know. I do think that Tennessee goes in there next week and runs all over them. I think the Tennessee-Buffalo game is like what we're talking about. Tennessee, Buffalo's defense. Think about the teams that are left with defense. Green Bay's got the same defense that the Bills do, and the Bucs have the same defense that the Packers and the that Tennessee do and the Bills do. The only one that has a defense left is really the Saints, and I think they like the Chiefs. They get knocked out. It's very seldom we see one seeds make it to the Super Bowl. We'll see one of those two get knocked out.
Well, let me ask you this as I use a back scratch like you just did.
I love that.
You think maybe that hold on.
I love how Mastradamus is always on the move. The camera is constantly moving. Like
Not just that, we just let him get a back scratcher out, and I had that one. Just like going, I still like the Chiefs. Guys, I want to mention one other thing, too. This is off topic, but so my wife's sister, my sister-in-law, purchased for my family the Oculus 2. Have you guys heard of this?
Yep.
The 3D goggle on thing? Hold up.
Yeah.
All right. It's so far better than I thought it was going to be. Like, you guys know I'm a video game nerd. Like, I'm a video game guy. It's so much better than I thought it was going to look. Like, the boxing game being in the ring, and you turn around, you see the audience, people are near you, and you're in the ring fighting the guy.
Are you talking about like a VR, virtual?
Yeah.
Oh, my
VR?
God. Matt, Oculus 2. Look it up.
Yeah.
I got it and I got rid of it, and my son was so pissed. I got it gifted to me, and I didn't want to freaking keep it because I heard you got seizures and shit, and I got rid
The
of it.
Oculus 2, the new one.
No, the actual VR for like the
That's what I'm saying.
PS4.
It's called the name brand.
Oh,
There's
it's different. Yeah.
different brands. This is made by Facebook,
okay.
actually.
Yeah.
It's called the Oculus 2. The zombie game. All right.
Oh, okay.
Really quick to explain to you guys. There's a game where you're in it where when you move, time moves. So if
Oh,
you
that's the
shoot
best
a guy
game.
and
Yeah.
then you move slow, the bullet comes and you
Yeah.
see the line and
I
trajectory of
heard
the bullet.
about this.
You can stop time and pluck it out of the air. You can shoot a guy, his gun comes flying in the air in slow motion. You can catch his gun. And dude, they did one thing where it was the beginning of like you can watch our show where it's like the show is the whole room and the ground. Like you can be in YouTube when you
Yeah.
watch stuff. It's fucking crazy. I just want to tell you guys, it's really that good. But
Yeah.
all right. So to wrap it up, the site's been going really well. Make sure if you tell people legitfantasysports.com. I got to get a hold of GoDaddy and have them help me because the Legit Fantasy Football one is going like to this weird like half of a website. So it's legitfantasysports.com. I don't know if you guys Kevin and I did the with Buddy Thayer, we did the paranormal show. We did the Saturday show. We've got a lot of content, I guess is what I'm trying to say, on the website. So check us out. Legit Fantasy Sports. Some of it still says Legit Fantasy Football, but please stick to Legit Fantasy Sports. So you guys have anything else you want to end with? No, sir. All right. Well, then for Brother Ray.
Be
What's that?
safe in these trying times. Stay American. Stay in love with your neighbor. Help them, and always keep. I mean, if you're not a godly person, just keep positivity on your front mind.
I'm with that, and also, I don't know. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys. We appreciate it. Again, for Brother Ray, for the Genius Kev, for Master Thomas, I'm King Miguel. This is Legit Fantasy Football. Thank you. Hope you guys win and pick one of our faces and go at one of us. Just pick one.